I think this is a big deal, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes of it. I'm not going to say it's a nothing burger, but it is a lot of interesting language in this whole executive order on crypto. And why this is happening is really simple. It's that there are sanctions, and people are finally starting to realize what the whole crypto Bitcoin situation, what that shit was about, and why people were so invested in it, why people are so interested in it. No matter if you are for it or not, it doesn't matter. It's just a lack of, let's say, something that they can do about it and how it really undermines more central banking systems. Now I'm not saying every fucking coin does that or has those aspirations, but when you talk to Bitcoiners and stuff, like that's a big focus, right? And why they say like Bitcoin solves a lot of these issues. But with the whole Russian thing and the sanctions thing, you see, hell, I think it's benefit really both sides of this, whether you're Ukrainians or Russians being able to utilize with all the sanctions and we're banning this or you can't use that. People are able to undermine those issues by simply using Bitcoin and things of that nature. So here you got, that's covered. There was he's putting out an executive order on cryptocurrencies, as they're calling it, and here's everything that's in it. U.S. President signed an executive order on Wednesday calling on the government to examine the risk and benefits of cryptocurrencies. The measures focus on 6 key areas: consumer protection, financial stability, illicit activity, U.S. competitiveness, and financial inclusion and responsible innovation. All the things that, again, they obviously should have nothing to do with in regards to the to this. But reading on, signed an executive order, and it says long-awaited directive that the crypto industry had the crypto industry on the edge, not least due to the growing regulatory concern. There's been reports of a divide between White House officials, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, of course, leading the delays on the policy rollout. The cryptocurrency or the crypto market got wind of the executive order overnight after the Treasury accidentally put out a since-deleted statement calling it historic. The order was finally signed Wednesday. It calls on the federal agencies to take a unified approach to regulation and oversight of digital assets. The measurement announced Wednesday will focus on 6 key areas, and that's the ones that we had just mentioned. U.S. competitiveness, that's hilarious. Or financial stability is even more hilarious considering what the fuck the dollar's done, or what they have rather done to the dollar. They don't give a shit about any of this. All this is that, okay, crypto allows people to undermine our institution. That's it. It allows people to undermine our institution, and we need to look into how we can either, number one, get in on it, number two, prevent people from doing said undermining. And that's only so much they can do, definitely when you're, it's up here. You know what I mean? There ain't much they can do. They can't confiscate it and none of that shit. So, or rather, it's very difficult for them to do it in comparison to the dollar amounts of, or dollars per se, USD. Protecting consumers is an important part of the directive. I don't believe that for once. If you were caring about protecting consumers, you wouldn't be doing what you'd be doing to the dollar. There have been countless stories of investors falling for crypto scams and losing sums of money throughout cyber attacks and exchanges of users themselves. Wait till you find out what they've done to the USD regarding scams. The Biden administration is calling on the Treasury to assess and develop these policy recommendations on crypto. It also wants regulators to ensure sufficient oversight and safeguard against any systemic financial risk posed by digital assets. They don't get it. That's the whole fucking point. To, not do what FIAT does. While policymakers have been keen to downplay any systemic risk resulting from crypto, there have been increasing concerns over the place of stable coins, role played by stable coins. These digital tokens that are meant to be pegged to value or to the value of existing currencies like the US dollar. Now they talk about this illicit activity. I want to get in on this. Let's see what they say. Another key area of Biden's executive order focuses on its rooting out illegal activity in the crypto space. Let's see what they talk about. unprecedented focus of coordinated action from the federal government. That's what they're advocating. Last year, U.S. officials seized 3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin, so they must have been able to get a hold of the wallet, so they knew what the fucking wallets were. The biggest seizure of cryptocurrencies ever, and that was related to the Bitfinex hack. But, and as I mentioned, following the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, oh my God, authorities are now concerned with the possible use, I said this, of crypto in helping sanction Russian individuals and companies evade their restrictions. That's what it's about. That's what makes them want to speed up the process. They were all looking at that, and they had issue with people doing that in America, but now they have guys that are generally seen as their political enemies right now, and they are able to undermine their system, and they don't like that. But this is the funny fucking thing. Climate change. He dropped a mention of sheer energy costs baked into the digital currencies like Bitcoin. I guess he's talking about mining and all of that. He wants the government to study ways to make crypto innovation more responsible. So basically, and what did he say about the U.S.? Well, what did he say about the competitiveness before I go off? Part of the language in the White House announcement focused on giving U.S. a competitive edge over other countries in crypto development, establishing a framework to drive U.S. competitiveness and leadership and leveraging of digital asset technologies. So coming out with a USD shitcoin, I guess. All right, let me say this. This is something that was long on the horizon. There's not much that they can do, and they know that. But what they can do, I guess, is essentially try to criminalize people that they catch utilizing it, which is the best they can do. And I can see something like that actually happening, and that's when really is going to get interesting. But a lot of the things that are the problem with Fiat, which again is the purpose and why people have gravitated towards things like Bitcoin. They are seeming to look into trying to replicate the same problems that, stem from Fiat, but just have it be in a digital space. So like they occupy it. That's fucking hilarious. And it looks like we just got breaking news that Disney CEO says company opposes Don't Say Gay bill, and he's going to meet with Governor DeSantis. That's after I just had that segment before. So yeah, they're coming for your Bitcoin, but it ain't much. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on YouTube.com/YoungRipper59 and Odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, EricDJuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.